Hello and welcome back to our news channel. Students, let's go to the articles of the day. UN declares famine in Gaza, blames Israel for a systematic aid obstruction. Now, students, what is Gaza? Gaza is a small strip of land in the Middle East and it is home to about 2 million people. This area has been at the center of conflict between Israel and Hamas. Hamas is what? Hamas is a militant group, okay? And it has been years that this conflict has been going on. Recently, recently, after nearly 2 years of intense firing, the UN has declared an official famine in Gaza. Okay, UN has declared official famine. Okay, now what is famine? What is famine? Famine is more than just hunger. It's when extreme lack of food leads to widespread death and suffering. Okay, तो यूएन की जो रोम बेस्ड एजेंसी है इंटीग्रेटेड फूड सिक्योरिटी integrated food security phase classification, it says that nearly yes, the Rome based Rome based integrated food security phase classification initiative, it said that the famine was affected 5 lakh people in the Gaza. Okay. And that's about 1 in every 2 families living with little or no food. Right? Now, why is this happening? UN agencies say famine is due to systematic obstruction aid. Systematic obstruction aid. What does it mean? Systematic obstruction aid. It means that food and medicine cannot reach people because of conflict restrictions. Israel, according to UN, Israel ने क्या किया? Israel has limited or completely blocked aid trucks into Gaza for months. Israel says that it's targeting Hamas, which it calls a terrorist group, and accuses Hamas of hiding among civilians. But for ordinary people, the result is catastrophic. है ना? आप देखो ना, अब उससे हो क्या रहा है? Shortage of food is there, clean water, they cannot access clean water, medicine, they cannot get medicine, fuel. UN कह रहा है कि UN this famine was preventable. This famine was preventable if aid was allowed in. Okay. Now, students, imagine being a child waiting with empty pots at a charity kitchen. Imagine the situation. Okay. And you are unsure if you'll get a meal. So that is what happening daily in Gaza. Right? UN human rights chief Volker Turk says that using starvation as a weapon of war may count as a war crime. And UN Secretary UN Secretary um, UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres called for an immediate ceasefire. He called for an immediate ceasefire and he warned the situation cannot continue with impunity. That the situation cannot continue with impunity. Okay. और उसी का रिस्पॉन्स अब इजराइल ने क्या दिया है? इजराइल ने ये कहा है कि ये जो हो रहा है, ये जो ऑब्स्ट्रक्शन इम्पोज किया गया है, बेसिकली has threatened that even stronger attacks on Gaza's cities will be there unless Hamas agrees to release hostages. तो इजराइल ये कह रहा है कि हमने जो ये ऑब्स्ट्रक्शन एड किया है, ये बेसिकली हमास को टारगेट करने के लिए किया है. And Israel also denies the UN's findings, called them biased. तो ये सारी चीजें चल रही हैं, लेकिन देखो इसमें हो क्या रहा है. देखो छोटे छोटे कुछ बच्चे भी हैं, वो फेमाइन की वजह से उनको खाना नहीं मिल पा रहा, राइट? मेडिसिन नहीं है, फ्यूल नहीं है। तो आपको क्या सोचना है इस बारे पूरी सिचुएशन को लेके? It's not about choosing sides, okay? It is not at all about choosing side that we should we go with Hamas, should we go with Israel? नहीं, बात ये नहीं है. It's about understanding human suffering and the rules of war. That the rules of war should aim to protect civilians. So that is what this article is. Right? Now, students, let's go to the next article. So our next story is about ISRO's new rocket. ISRO building its heaviest rocket. So ISRO, our space agency, um, will be building heaviest rocket, and ISRO will be calling it Lunar Module Launch Vehicle, LMLV. Okay, and it will be as tall as 40-story building. 40-story building. 40-story building. And it is expected to be ready by 2035. And of course, it will carry astronauts and heavy equipments for India's first human mission to the moon by 2040. Right? So, ये सारी चीजें हैं इसके regarding. And so, this will, it will carry astronaut, okay? And astronaut का जो mission है वो कहाँ पर है? मून पर लॉन्च करने का. Okay, it will be India's first mission to the moon by 2040. Now, let's compare it to the current rockets. So right now, ISRO's most powerful rocket is LMV-3. अभी जो strongest rocket है वो है LMV-3, right? Which carried Chandrayaan-3 to the moon. ये LMV-3 ही था जो Chandrayaan-3 को मून पे ले गया था. अब जो LMLV है ना स्टूडेंट, जो अभी हम रिसेंटली बनाएंगे, वो it will be even more powerful. It can carry, wait, here it is given. Yes, it can carry 80 tons to the low Earth orbit and about 27 tons in the to the moon. So for comparison, अगर हम compare करें तो जो इलॉन मस्क का SpaceX का spacecraft है, Dragon spacecraft, it weighs about 6 to 8 ton. And human missions to the moon need more systems for safety and long travels. So they will weight about 18 to 20 tons. 18 to 20 tons. Right? Now, why is this important, students? Humans have not landed on the moon since 1972. Okay, India's mission will only showcase technology, but also open opportunities. ऐसा नहीं कि सिर्फ technology को दिखाएगी, but it will also open opportunities for scientific research and maybe even future moon missions. तो इसरो का क्या प्लान है? इसरो also plans 5 module Indian space station. Indian space station का हमारा होना चाहिए by 2035. And how are they building it? Students, a model of LMLV is already displayed at Bharat Mandapam, Delhi during National Space Day celebration. तो जो उसका एक तरीके से जो मॉडल है वो ऑलरेडी डिस्प्ले किया था. इसरो इंजीनियर्स दे आर वर्किंग डे एंड नाइट टू डिजाइन दिस विद इन मंथ्स. It will use liquid oxygen, kerosene engines, LMLV. It will also replace the earlier planned NGLV heavy rocket project. Now students, you must be thinking, why should we care? है ना, अभी तो बहुत टाइम भी और हमें क्या फर्क पड़ता है? See students, स्पेस प्रोग्राम जो होता है ना, स्पेस प्रोग्राम
It inspire innovation in science and technology, and that benefit everyday life. Satellites से क्या होता है? Satellites it help us with weather forecast, disaster warning, GPS, सब में तो सैटेलाइट के डेटा ही यूज किया जाता है. तो इंडिया का जो स्पेस जर्नी है, ये क्या प्रूव करता है दैट इवन विद लिमिटेड सोर्सेस, हमारे पास हमेशा से, देखो स्टूडेंट्स, अगर आप हिस्ट्री देखोगे इंडियन स्पेस एजेंसी की, तो हमारे पास हमेशा से लिमिटेड रिसोर्सेस रहे हैं. बट with innovation, with inspiration, it shows India's space agency space journey is a proof that even with limited resources, big dreams are possible, right? So that is all for today, students. And as young learners, you'll soon be leaders, you'll soon be scientists, diplomats. So the big question is, how will you shape the future? Will you work for peace? Will you aim for the stars while caring for people on earth? All right. So that's all for today, students. Thank you for listening. Stay curious, stay compassionate, and keep learning. Bye bye.